Good morning, everybody. My name is Frank Salas. I go by the name The Talented Mr. Salas. I'm the founder of the Talent Tribe, where I serve those with talent and I transform them into thought leaders. And as part of my service to the Talent Tribe, I have a wonderful guest for you guys today. I can't wait for you guys to reach out and meet my girl, Jo. Her name is José Anne. She is from Parler Francois. She is from Canada. She's a French Canadian. That's all the French that I know, by the way. I asked her about the name of her business and I can't really say it. So I'm going to have her introduce herself to you guys, but I want to tell you how I found her. So I was looking for a bunch of people that were monetizing their blogs for the Talent Tribe because we're getting into blogging as a tribe. And I found you. And here's what I loved about you. Number one, your blogs were in French and I don't speak French or read French at all. And I was like, whoa. This woman, Jo, my girl, out in Nicaragua right now, she teaches women how to blog in French. That's a very specific demographic. And I teach all about getting specific. You get rich in a niche. Some people say niche. Some people say niche. I don't know. You're French. You might have a different way to say that. So, she really stood out to me, and I was like, this is the definition, a case study, if you will, of how to monetize your blog, how to get very specific. And you do so much right on your platforms. It's just a pleasure to have you here. I just want to say thank you, and go ahead and introduce the fine folk and tell us about yourself.
All right. So hello, my name is José Anne. You can call me Jo. I am, as Frank said, French Canadian, currently living in Nicaragua. I got tired of the stressful living and the cold, so I moved down here. I surf every day, and I teach girls how to start their own blog and how to make money with their blog so it can become their careers. And I also have a company called Fit Hippie where I host retreats and events here, mostly in Nicaragua for now. So, hello.
Jo, when we had first spoke, you were like 15, 20 minutes late for our interview, which is cool. Like, I don't care. But you were like, sorry, I was out catching some mad waves. And I was like, man, that's the best excuse ever. Like, why would you even talk to me? Like, go back to the ocean, But she was cool about it. So can you tell us about, what was that?
Here you really learn to live with the tides. Like, if the waves are good, you're just like, sorry, man, gotta go. I'll work later.
That's phenomenal. Oh my God. And like when we had met, I was so jealous. You were like, sorry, bro, I just been surfing. Things are cool. And we're going to get into what you talk about and how you do your retreats. But let's go ahead and start from the beginning. So first off, how old are you? You're pretty young.
I'm 28.
28. Okay. So you're 28 years old. And you are living in Nicaragua. You make money online. You completely change your life. How somebody who's listening to this right now, they're like, oh my God, I could never be in Nicaragua. I could never make money on blogging. This is so like far removed from their reality. But for you, it's everyday life. You surf every day. You're in cool places. Where'd you start? Tell us about José Anne in Parler Francois.
Okay, well, I first started my career as a sports journalist, which was really cool. I loved it, but journalism is having rough times. When the contract ended, I could not find a new one, and I was like, ugh, I don't think I'm made for like the traditional 9-to-5 lifestyle. I tried it. It sucked. It's not for me. And then I already had my blog, and I started freelancing a little more. So then I was like, I see all those bloggers like from Europe or the States, and like it's their full-time job. So why not me? That's what I love to do. So why not? And then I started researching more about that and trying to find new ways to make money. Because, blogging is having a big shift. You can, but it's really tough to just live from advertising and sponsored articles anymore. So you really have to like get creative and find new ways to make money, because you know, if you limit yourself, there's not much you can do. But if you open up your mind to like all the possibilities, you can basically make money online from everything.
I love that.
Yeah, that's how I started to try to find new ways. And then I got into retreats and live events. And then I was like, so many girls are asking me about my blogger lifestyle. Like, how did I start? What's my typical day? How do I make money? I want to start my blog. And like everybody that was reaching out to me, that was all they were asking about. So I was like, I think there's something there. So that's when I really started to get into, like you said, a niche, being more specific, and then just started my online blog school where I teach girls how to blog.
That's awesome. So I want to maybe focus in a little bit on something that you said. You kept your mind open, because being a blogger is like, people are like, oh, she's a blogger, whatever. They don't take you seriously, but like, you make a nice living. You live very inexpensively in different parts of the world, and you get to keep a lot of your money and then invest, and your options open up a lot more. So because you opened your mind, your bank, your wallet, your way to play the game has now opened up tremendously, way more than somebody paying you a salary job. So I want to just point that out to everybody in the Talent Tribe, all my superstars in the Talent Tribe, but for everybody who is listening to this as well, because we are on iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Republic, YouTube, and we definitely have a lot of reach. And we're putting out our content to a bunch of people. So I wanted to hone in on that really quickly, and maybe zoom in even more. When you first made the shift of, okay, I don't want to work for anybody else, and you were out doing the research and you figured out, okay, this is a viable option. This is something that I want to do.
Yeah.
What was that first leap? Tell us about that first leap. What did you have to do first? What was the step?
Well, it was just like to take the plunge, I guess. It was just like, screw it. I'm doing it. If it doesn't work, at least, I'll try. At first, I really had trouble finding a more stable way to make money. When I first did the switch, my first niche was all about weddings. So I was like, I'm going to do wedding videos and like wedding decorations because that's what I like, blah, blah, blah. So I started with that, and it was a total flop. Like, really a massive fail. But that's okay. Like, I learned a lot from it, and then everything I learned from that, I transferred it into, my career today. So from there, I moved on, and I was like, okay, that didn't work. It's okay. Not everything can work, and there's a reason for that. In the end, like, it was a lot of weekend work, and like, you had to work so hard to find clients and like fight to justify what you're asking for as a salary. And I was like, no, that's not what I want to do. So then I was like, okay, back to the board, blogging. How can I make money with blogging other than, waiting for companies to pay me to talk about their brands? And then it was a lot of writing. I'm very old school that way. I have like a notebook where I just write pages and pages and pages of all my ideas. And then this one suddenly appeared, and I was like, I spent all this time answering emails and Facebook messages and things like that about blogging and what's my life as a blogger. So like, hello, how did I not see this before? Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
once I started with that, when you're in the right spot, everything falls in place so easily. And like, that was it. Everything was just flowing, coming easy. People that were interested were naturally attracted to like what I was offering. So yeah.
That's phenomenal. In day 2 of our talent school, it's a program that I help people, learn of what their value is. We cover, what do people come running to you for help with now, which means you know, if someone is asking you, like they were asking you, hey, how do you start blogging? You had that enough that you were like, you know what? This is a problem that people have. They're coming to me to solve that problem. And when I wanted to convey to everybody who's listening to us on iTunes, YouTube, and live on Blab in the studio audience, like Claudia Santiago, she's one of our superstars. Kim Buchanan is one of our superstars in the Talent Tribe. Rody is one of our superstars in the Talent Tribe, and he's in Acapulco, Mexico. We also have a Sunshine Lady that is Annette out in Munich, Germany. So we have a worldwide audience joining us right now. And of course, Joe's out in Nicaragua enjoying, so jealous. So jealous you're out there.
Yeah.
So for everybody who's listening to this, you have to realize, what are people coming to you for help with now? What are they breaking your door down, asking you, hey, can you help me with this? And the first time that you get this message, it's kind of cool, it's kind of interesting, but after the 10th or 12th time, you're like, I should do something like this. Now, can you walk us through the steps of when you realized, okay, this is something that I have to solve with people? What was the next thing that you did to take that next level? How did you commit further from
it? First thing, I was like, you know, if you want to make money, you have to sell something. So I was like, okay, I have to find products, create products to sell. I want to, you know, I think it's important to give out a lot of free advice, free stuff. That's how you build trust. And like probably 90% of what I give out is free. Yeah, you like that?
I love that.
Yeah. So I first started, I have like a free online course where people get introduced to, you know, what I have to say. And it's a good step-by-step to help people. And then I have a Facebook group where I spend probably like half my time just answering to some questions. And the girls are in there. We're around 300 members now. And like every day they have questions, they have comments, they interact with each other. It's really cool. So I spend a lot of time in there helping them. And then I have paid products. So, you know, I have ebooks. If you want really a step-by-step, I take you by the hand, and within hours you can start your blog without any other help. I have some smaller ones if you just need help with understanding Google Analytics or SEO writing or Facebook pages, you know. And then for the next level, I have this big online course all about making money online. So like if you want to commit and take the next step, then you can, you know, join in my big online course and I'll tell you all about how to make money.
I love it.
But yeah, so that's what I did.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. I want to maybe zoom in a little bit and break down and convey some things to all my superstars in the Talent Tribe, like Mr. Jeremy Barnes, Mr. Network Marketing out in Chicago, Illinois in the US. What she did there is, and what I loved is that she gave out complimentary. So you said free, and I don't like the word free. I like the word complimentary, because I'm not a free guy. You're not a free woman. It costs to work with us, but because we care so much about our crafts and our passion, and we have so much to give as experts, we always give complimentary services, offers, products, knowledge, trainings. And the reason that we do that is because Joe and I, we don't want to go over the basics all the time when we meet somebody. When somebody comes to us, we want them to know this is like the day one stuff. Let's get that out of the way so we can really do some actual work. So we took the time. Like you said, it was a lot of writing. It was a lot of planning. We took the time to put our stuff on paper, on digital products, on courses, and so on and so forth, and say, hey, thank you so much for generating interest in working with me. It's truly a pleasure for me to serve you and to serve your business. A lot of stuff that you have, I've already covered in this product, this product. You might be ready for this product, but I'd recommend to start here first and see if this is for you. Yeah. If it is, then we can talk about getting you into that. I do have one-on-one coaching. I also have retreats that I have, and we're going to go into that here in a little bit, but and so on and so forth. And you can really guide people to do business with you and really serve them. But you want to go surf, like that makes you happy. That makes you want to be in Nicaragua, and you should. You've done the work already. If people want to get that knowledge, go check that out. If there's nothing wrong with that, you're not telling them no. You're saying, hey, I've already done that. Go check that out. I constantly tell people, go to day 14 of the Talent Tribe where I show you how to master blab. They're like, oh wow, you know, I didn't even know that was covered in the talent school. You know, so you know, people are like, okay, cool. Now we took them through the steps, but now let's take people to the championship, to like the big, you know, everybody has a different one. And I'm so jealous of yours. Tell us about your retreat that you have right now in Nicaragua.
It's really cool. So I have like 16 women that come down here to spend 10 days with me and the staff around here. So we do surf, we do yoga, we do a lot of personal growth, because it's like most retreats I do are really oriented towards growing and like learning to love yourself again. You know, I really want the girls to leave Nicaragua like how do you say that in English? Like they blossom.
Yeah, that's great. That's a phenomenal way.
So yeah, we do that. We do like trainings on the beach. We go volunteer at the school. We hike a volcano and then go down on like a board. It's a little crazy. So
like
we do a lot of stuff.
Or something?
Yeah, it's like a wood thing that you're sitting on, and then you're going like 60 kilometers an hour, like ah!
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's really fun.
That's really cool. That's amazing. So you're telling me that you go on these adventures and these excursions and people pay you to do that, and you do some learning and some teaching.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And like the groups I had already here, it's amazing to see them from day one, and then when they leave, how like their eyes are sparkling and they're so happy and they found themselves again and they're full of new ideas, and it's really awesome.
That's so great. Now, how long have you been doing this?
Not that long. It's gonna be a year this summer that I do retreats. So that's a new business that I started last summer. Yeah.
And the people that attend your retreats, or because this is women only, right? Like I can't go because I'm a dude, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries. So it's only for women. And how often do you host these retreats?
The big ones, like the 10 days, are like 3 or 4 times a year. I might add a 5th one that's more oriented toward blogging. So it would be kind of a surf, yoga, blogging, web domination retreat.
Yeah.
And then I have, smaller ones that are, they're mostly in Quebec though. They're like a weekend. So I'll do that a couple of times a year too when I go back.
Now I'm in the game, so I know what you're doing, but I'm going to break it down to peeps. So when you go back to Quebec, that's your like your hometown or like your home area, right?
Yeah.
So when you go back, you make it a point to have retreats and stuff like that in your hometown, so you can make money and monetize all of your travels. And so it's like a workcation a little bit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's so awesome. And you and I, we've experienced this kind of stuff, but a lot of people haven't experienced that. So you and I could take a dart and throw it on the map and say, you know what, because we have an audience, because we have a following, or a tribe is what I call it, and because we engage and we serve, the key word here is we serve our tribe. We don't nickel and dime our tribe, we serve our tribe. And because of that, wherever we go, we can have people come to us and work with us one-on-one. Can you maybe walk people through what happens in a smaller workshop? How does that look like?
It's more like you mean if I go back to Quebec and it's like a dating or it's fun because a lot of the time it's people that have been following me for a long time, or they already came to one of my events and they want to do it again. So you really get that sense of connection with the people. It's most of the time they're a little bigger events in Quebec because, you know, it's a lot more affordable. So it's not like a 10-day trip in Nicaragua. It's, you know, you can drive there and just spend the day with me. So it's a lot more accessible, and it gets, I had an event in, what date are we? We're in June?
We're in June.
I'm so lost with the dates and everything. Okay, I had one in May. Yeah, I flew back in May, and you know, we were maybe 65 girls doing outdoor yoga in an orchard, and it was just beautiful with like such a nice energy and everybody connecting together, and then you end the day with like a massive group hug, and you're just overwhelmed with like happiness and love. It's pretty sweet.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Right now we have Kim Buchanan, who is one of our superstars out in New Zealand. First off, she's like, I want to go to this retreat. I want to go down at this. I want to go with her. I want to, you know, work with Joe. She also says that she loves that the month escapes you. And that's really key. I wanted to point that out. Like, you got to realize that Joe, she doesn't worry about bills. She doesn't worry about where her next paycheck coming in. She doesn't worry about anything because she's already put the work in. If somebody wants to work with her, if somebody finds her today, like Kim Buchanan might go to your website today and read your website and buy your product. And that's her making revenue. Yeah. And there's nothing sleazy about that. There's nothing wrong with that. She is purchasing value and getting value in return. And I keep saying that Kim is in New Zealand. She's in Australia. Apologies. So I just wanted to point that out. And then I had somebody on here who is kind of being not the best audience member, and he's saying that you must live off of trust fund. So you and I know that's not the case.
Oh my God, no.
Can you maybe address something like that where people think, oh, well, she probably had this or she probably had that? Like, I know the challenge that it takes to start a business. Yeah. Can you tell us what your situation was when you started the business? Did you have $1 million in some trust fund?
Oh my God, absolutely not. And like not that long ago, I was the girl that would go to the grocery store and like my card would get declined, or like I would want to put $10 of gas in my car and my card was declined because, you know, not enough funds. So like I did not start with money. And at first it's tough because like when you start a business, you want to invest in a bunch of things, but then the income is not there yet. But at some point you kind of have to make the move and be like, you know what? It's tough right now, but I know it's going to pay off. I know I'm doing the right thing, and like believe in it. And I did. And the tough times are now behind. Yay.
I love it. And congratulations. Your story is so motivating. It's so motivating. I know a lot of people are finding a lot of value in this, and even further, if they're not catching us live on Blab, they can catch us live on, you know, all the other platforms where we, you know, disperse and dispense this kind of value. If somebody right now who is not blogging right now, what is their first step? What is the first thing that you do to start blogging?
Think. It's really, a lot of people just want to get blogging because it seems so fun and like you get products in the mail every day, or, you know, it looks like so much fun. But you really have to think, why do you want to do that? What do you want to blog about? You have to blog about something that you're passionate about, because that's what's going to make the difference. There are so many blogs out there. So if you're just, you know, one of them without your own voice, it's not going to work. You have to do it for the right reasons, and you have to love it. So I always start, like, all my courses, all my ebooks, they start with planning. Think about your editorial policy. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
So, you know, define yourself a guide of the subjects you want to be covering, the subjects you don't want to be covering, the tone you want to use, the type of writing you want to use, you know, really make that clear. And then once it's planned, stay on track, because it's really easy to be like, oh, everybody's blogging about yoga these days. I should start blogging about yoga. You know, if it's not your blogging purpose, don't go there. Just focus and stay on the path you're you planned already. So
I dig it. Okay, so I've got my plan. So somebody like me, I currently don't blog. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I do live streams. I give my live streams to my virtual assistants, and I'm like, hey, you guys make a blog of this, send it to some peeps. Maybe we'll get some news coverage, but you can't necessarily go to my website and like, no one's like, oh, Frank's dropping that new blog post. I can't wait for it. They're like, no, Frank's coming on live stream and he's about to broadcast on Periscope and he's going to do a blab and stuff like that. So I'm incorporating blogging because I see the value in it. Just from hanging out with you and conversing with you. So let's say somebody like me, I already have my following, I already have an audience. I've got people on all platforms, every single one of them, and I'm constantly growing that audience. People are asking me for blogs now, and they're like, hey, we can kind of tell that this is just your live stream. We want something like more personal, whatever. How would you advise for somebody like myself who has all of these things to maybe level up my blogging?
I would say try to find your own voice, because, blogging is all about the person you're following. You follow a blogger because you like her, or you like her sense of humor, or, you follow that person. So you really want to get that person into what you're blogging about. So I would say if you really want to get into blogging, don't hire somebody to do it for you. You have to do the work. You have to put your personality out there. You have to put your story out there. I think a lot of people that are following me really like it because I share a lot. I share my victories, but I also share a lot of my struggles. And like my big move over here, before coming here, I was engaged. And my followers knew that, and they were asking a lot of questions. And when I was ready, I blogged about it, and I explained what happened and the reasons why I made that move. And they really appreciate that. So that's cool. It's just put yourself out there.
That's awesome. So Shan Chicago, who's one of our superstars in the Talent Tribe, asks, how did you physically set up a blog and how did you get followers to your blog?
Well, physically, it's just, go on like GoDaddy and purchase the domain name and put WordPress on it. You can do that within a couple of hours. It's really not that long. And in English, there are a lot of resources out there to help you. So that's the physical way, my physical part of it, I guess. And then to build your following, it's like, it takes time. You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Consistent. You had it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You have to be consistent and post quality things. When I first started, I wasn't by myself. It was a group blog. So we had a lot of different ideas. And at first, like, all we wanted to was like have the biggest Facebook page ever, So, so we did a lot of like Facebook contests, and it was really dragging the wrong people on the page. People were starting to follow us just to get free random things, not because they wanted to follow us. So like, that's one thing I teach now. Don't do that. And then once it became like the other girls in the project decided to leave and it became my personal project, then I really took the time to think, and I was like, okay, I don't think I did the right thing. And like, if I want people to follow me, to really follow me for the right reasons, I think I have to do things differently. So that's when I started to blog a lot more about myself. And at first it was so weird. I was like, no one's gonna read that. Like, who's it gonna, interest? What the hell? But no, surprisingly, people were loving it and wanted more. And if I was writing an article about, something random like decoration versus something about my life, you could see the gap. Like, about me, it was always, a lot of stats and a lot of views, and then the shares and likes. And so I was like, okay, I guess people like that. So, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. even though it's scary at first and it's weird. So yeah, don't be scared and only post quality things. Because at first you're kind of stressed. You're like, oh my God, I have to put something out today. No, you don't. You know, if it's going to be something that you're doing in a stressed way or not in a good mood or a good energy, or, you know, just on Instagram, if it's today you don't have a good picture, then don't post anything, you know. It's better to wait a little more and always show your people some quality rather than, you know, having some bleh.
Right, I hear you. One thing I want to maybe backtrack a little bit is you went from building the biggest Facebook page to now having only around 300 people in your private Facebook group where you can control that. I just did a training yesterday on Facebook groups and how those are the perfect homes for your tribe because, you know, Facebook hosts them. Facebook has all the files and you can message people directly. So if someone joins your tribe, if they read your blog and join your inner circle, and then you vet them, is this person a woman? Like I would never be accepted in your group because I'm a dude. And so you'd be able to click X on my face and say, Frank's not allowed here. But if somebody like him would join your Facebook group, she could definitely jump in there and you can get her, you can welcome her in there. You can introduce her to people. Yeah. And then on top of that, through Facebook, you can send her a message. And I'm a huge fan of sending a voice message, a video message, calling them on a video call to establish that connection and saying, thank you for joining José Anne's, you know, French blog or whatever. So, you know, that's what I do with the Talent Tribe. And I really drive engagement. And I have a strong, very engaged following of superstars in my Talent Tribe. For you know, people hear, oh, you know, she wanted a million followers on Facebook in her page, but now she only has 300 peeps. And you're like, I spend half of my day or whatever just answering those questions. Can you maybe touch on the topic of maybe why you would want a very targeted, smaller, segmented group of people? Yeah.
Well, with my blog, it's kind of two businesses in one. So there's my classic lifestyle blog where I blog about myself and my life and things like that. Yeah. And for that, I have my Facebook page, you know, which is growing good. And it's a really different target, you know. Like you said, in the Facebook group, I talk with everybody. I answer every single comment, questions. I'm there, you know, a couple of hours every single day talking one-on-one with all the girls. As opposed to, you know, my Facebook page. Yes, I have those more engaged followers that will often comment and things like that. But, you know, that's just such a small percentage of my Facebook page. As opposed to in the Facebook group, it's like if you're in the Facebook group, it's because you're engaged. You know, you want to push that relationship further. So
I love that. That should be a quote. That's you absolutely do. That should be a quote. If you join the Facebook group, you're engaged and you want to take the relationship further. Yeah. So we have a few questions. This is from Annette. She's at Sunshine Lady Net out in Munich, Germany. She's one of our superstars. She asks, "Do you have an affiliate marketing on your blog, Joe?"
Not yet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool.
It's something I want to, it's something I would like to incorporate, especially for my students that are in my big online course. I know I will eventually put affiliate marketing for that, but apart from that, I don't. Was the question more like, do I have affiliate links on my blog, or?
She just asked if you do affiliate marketing. So I mean, yeah. Do you have affiliate links?
No.
No, that's awesome. And you're still monetizing without affiliates. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's like, you know, once you think outside the box and think outside of the advertising, affiliate links and sponsored articles, there are so many other options how to make money with a blog. Yeah. And also, honestly, in French, it's a little different. There are not as many links as in English, I think. But yeah, and since I blog about my life, like most of the time, the links wouldn't fit anyways. So.
Well, I would like to challenge you a little bit. So right now I have 3 sponsorships right now through live streaming. They definitely pay a monthly fee to me to be sponsored by them. I send them business. I mention them. And I also have equity in one of them. I also have complimentary products. Like here's one of them. Here's a dual stream. So I put my phones in here. This is one of our sponsors over at Archon Mounts. And this is where I broadcast live. And because I am a professional live streamer, I'm able to use this and broadcast on Periscope. I can broadcast on Facebook or Busker or even do a blab, whichever one I wanted to do. And because I do yoga every day, just like you, and I do it on my Snapchat. I'm here in Austin and it's beautiful. A yoga company reached out to me and they sent me about $1,000 worth of watches that are like Fitbits. I don't know if you know what Fitbits are. Do you know those? Yeah. So they were like that, and they would tell you like what's your breathing per whatever. And, you know, they were trying to work out some kind of sponsorship with me. And because they saw me on social media, on live stream doing yoga, and they were like, we want to sponsor that guy. So I would challenge everybody, but especially you, Ms. Jo, to, you know, figure out what do you like and what do you need to sponsor. One of the last questions in day 1 of the talent school is, what kind of partnerships do you seek in business? And there's a whole section for sponsors. And with sponsors, it's just like you, like I love cigars. I'm looking for a cigar sponsor so they can sponsor me. I would represent them and say, hey, I love cigars. This is a cigar that I love. If you want to, you know, buy them, go use the affiliate link on my thing, or just pick them up at your local store. Like these guys are amazing. You know, these are amazing. So I would challenge you to have that kind of engagement. And the thing that I want to point out to everybody is that Jo's kicking ass right now. She's dominating her marketplace because we haven't even talked about this. We did a little bit, but I wanted to focus in on this a little bit. So you teach women who speak and write in French how to blog. How much competition do you have, ma'am?
I saw one girl in France that kind of does the same thing, but not exactly. That's it.
That's what we call being in a blue ocean, guys. For those of you guys who don't know what a blue ocean is, it's a really fancy MBA term. There's a few books on it. But a blue ocean strategy is where you are the first shark in the ocean. If you're in a red ocean, you're surrounded by sharks and it's a saturated market. Everyone's eating. But if you're in a blue ocean, then you are the first person to get their buffet on. And right now, you and that other one person in France are getting your buffet on. And there's plenty of room for y'all guys to go around and be fed every day. And that's if you don't take anything away from this particular podcast or this live stream, if you're here, that's what you want to be. You want to put yourself in that blue ocean because you don't have any trouble finding new clients. They come to you, right?
Yeah. And if I can add on that, you know, at first I really thought, I was like, is it a good idea to stay in French? Because the market is smaller, you know, it seems a little counterintuitive, but no, like you have to fight this feeling of no one is doing it. So it's probably a bad idea. It's not going to work. No, it's like no one is doing it. So go, like jump. You'll be the, like you said, one of the only ones to do it.
That's phenomenal. Hey guys, we're about to wrap up. So if you have any questions, make sure that you put them in the comments in our live podcast. We record all of our podcasts live on Blab. Of course, we're going to distribute them everywhere else. But if you want to be part of the live studio audience, make sure that you're following me on Blab. Just look for Talented Mr. Salas. And we're definitely going to, you know, they're asking where can we find more about Jo, but you know, I'm not ready to let her go just yet. We're getting so much value, but we got to respect her time. She's got to go catch some surf. They keep asking, where is your blog? How do we get to your blog?
Okay. So my blog, I guess I can write, huh?
Yeah, you can write it for everybody that's catching us live. And if you say it, then people will be able to listen to it, and we'll put it in the show notes, of course.
Okay. So hold on, I'm just writing it, and I can't do 2 things at the same time.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm such a guy. Did it work? I don't know. Okay, so my blog is called Bulle et Bottillon, And it's really tough to write it in English, I guess. If I was translating it, it means bubbles and small boots.
And small boots?
Yeah, you know those short boots that you wear?
What does that mean in French? Same thing?
Yeah. So I like those words back in the days, and I was like, they fit well together. So Bélébation, there you go. Bubbles and short boots, yes. And my other company, that's a little easier to find. It's with this one that I do the retreats. It's called Fit Hippie. So
Fit Hippie.
Yeah.
Fit hippie. I love it. I love it. You are such a fit hippie. You got is that a henna tattoo or is that a real tattoo?
No, it's a real one. Yay.
Nice. What up? What up? All right. Well, I want to maybe leave us off with just real quick short answers of some round robin questions that I've accumulated from the tribe when I told them that I was going to have you on there. I said, hey guys, you know, I'm going to have somebody really cool that does this, this, and this. And they were like, oh my God, I can't. Cool. So this is just from them. So keep them as brief as possible or go in depth if something you find people would find value from. So the first question is, okay, I have a blog. I'm started. I'm getting some tractions. I have some followers. I am thinking about my first course. What do I need to know to be able to monetize on the following that I already have?
You need to find the right product for the people you already have on board. That's what I think.
Nice. Great answer. Great answer. Next question. Once you have that product and it's already made and you've already given it to your audience and you're like, oh my God, I made money. This is amazing. And you want more. How do you get more people? How do you market your course?
I think first thing is don't, how do you say that? Like, don't make your head
get an ego. Yeah, get an ego. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, stay present. I think especially in the online world, we forget how word of mouth is powerful. And just by being really present for your tribe, you know, they're gonna spread the word for you without you having anything to do, apart from being nice to people, which is, you know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, word of mouth. For me, that's how I work. It's not very marketing oriented, but it works.
That's great. And that's just some, you know, that's where business is shifting to. Business is shifting to more personal connections, the way you make people feel, establishing your tribe. Like right now we have about a few dozen people that check this out here live. And that might not be a lot. We're not pulling, you know, 100,000 people live, but we don't need to be talking to 100,000 people. We want to talk to a few dozen people that are super interested in what it is that we want to talk about, and then give them value, offer them ways to work with us, and go on from there. And on the final question that I have, unless anybody in our live studio audience has one, is, okay, I've marketed my course. I've already done my first one. This is great. And I want to start getting into retreats. Everyone's asking, how do I get, and you can go in depth in this one because this one's pretty cool. How do I get someplace like a hostel in Nicaragua with this amazing yoga bench or a yoga deck right on the beach to allow me to host retreats? How does it all work? Do I need insurance? Do I make money in the retreat, or is this something that I just do for fun? How does it all work? Break us down through that process as much as you can.
Okay. First thing is, it's really not as complicated as people think it is. You just need to, the first step is to do some research for potential places. Retreats are getting more and more popular, so more and more places are open to it, or they already have packages in place for you to just be like, okay, so I'll be there this date from this till this date. Thank you.
Nice.
Apart from that, if you need people, you know, it's the most important thing is probably to have people that will want to pay to spend a week with you. Because if you don't, well, then you're not gonna sell your retreat.
Right.
It is good money. It's a lot of work. It's very intense for like a week. You work basically 24/7, and it takes you a lot of energy because you give to the people that are there, but it's so rewarding. It's amazing. And as for like insurance and stuff like that, I think it's different from a state to another. I know in Canada it's this way. So like in Quebec, we have certain regulations, and I know they're not the same in Ontario or in BC. So that's a really boring part where you have to make researches to make sure you're legal. Normally, you don't have to take insurance. The place where you're hosting are supposed to have their own insurance, and then each individual guest have or has to take their own travel insurance. So you don't really have to worry too much about that. And then, you find your place, you put up your sales page, and you're done. It's really not that complicated. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I just opened the new one this week, and apart from the day that I took to build my sales page, and you also have to think about what you're going to offer in the retreat and kind of make your schedule, but it's really not that complicated.
Nice. That was phenomenal. We got some few questions rolling in from the live audience. Sunshine Lady Net over in Munich, Germany. Annette, she wants to know, why did you choose Nicaragua? Did you know somebody there?
No, I did not know. At first, when I was starting to think about having week-long retreats, on my Facebook page, I just questioned my followers, and I was like, hey, you guys, I'm thinking about hosting retreats. Where would you like them? And then I suggested, I think, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Mexico, or any other suggestion. And then I got 85 comments, and 3 or 4 times people were saying Nicaragua, but more specifically, the Free Spirit Hostel where I am right now. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And wrote to the guys. They're from Quebec. Nice. So the owners are from the same place where I'm from. And once I Skyped with them, I was like, you know what? This is a perfect place. Fine. Fun. Didn't look further. Yeah. When I say that when you're in the right spot, everything falls into places, that's an example. I did not have to search for a long time. Right away, I found the right spot.
I love that. And I wanted to maybe zoom in a little bit for everybody in the Talent Tribe on my superstars. Now, what she did, if you notice, she was engaging with her audience. She says, I'm looking to offer this product or service. I'm looking for feedback. And they gave her 85 comments of the places that they wanted to go specifically. And all she had to do was go from there. So I'm going to, respect your time so you can go back to the surf. I really appreciate you taking the time to reach out. I would love to have you back. I know that you don't allow dudes in your group, but if you did, I would be requesting to be in that. So all my ladies who are looking to get into blogging, do you do it in English or in French only in your Facebook group?
Right now, it's only in French because I just have French girls. But I mean, I can speak English. I can write in English. So if you want to join, I'll be more than happy to answer in English.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, so Kim out in Australia who speaks English, if you want to maybe get some work on your French, and then maybe have Joe start to cater to a global audience now, now that she's in a year, if she wants to go down that route, if she just wants to stay where she's at, that's fine. She has every right to. That's the cool thing about being in business online is you can do whatever you want to do. Yeah. So Joe, thank you so much for helping me serve the Talent Tribe. Where is the best way for people to reach out to you if they have any questions whatsoever about blogging, course creation, international retreats, yoga, surfing, hiking, serving, all that cool stuff?
You can find in English, you can find me on Instagram at Jose and S. Oh no, it's a really long name. Crap, all my names are so hard for you.
We're going to have a bunch of links for everybody in the show notes. No worries, no worries.
Okay.
If you can't find her, reach out to me at Talented Mr. Salas everywhere and Frank Salas on Periscope, where I broadcast live daily and have complimentary trainings. And of course, you can ask me in the Talent Tribe. Just go to Facebook and type in Talent Tribe. We take men, we take ladies, we take Frenchies, we take Australians, we take everybody. You know, we're definitely looking for people to join our tribe. But again, Joe, thank you so much. It's just a pleasure to have you. Hope we can do this again.
Yeah, I really hope. It was a lot of fun. And then I just thought of an email address that's actually easy to remember.
Perfect. Hit us.
info@fithippie.co. So if you need to talk or email or whatever, that's the easiest one to say and to remember. So
there you go. There you go, Joe. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much again. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.